There's no way Obamacare goes through without a supermajority. There's no way some kind of outlandish housing and urban development scheme is going to fly in any other administration. There's no way that all these Obama phones and stuff, everybody's like, well, they had this thing since the Reagan program. Not to this extent, Jack. And it wasn't cell phones either. That was for landlines. There's been a lot of things since Obama got into office that people have said they've got a right to. They're just not rights. We got the right to life. We got the right to liberty. We got the right to the pursuit of happiness. We got the right to remain silent. We got the right to an attorney. We got like a Bill of Rights that pretty much sets out all the things that we have the right to. Nowhere on there have I seen you got a right to be moving on up to the east side. Nowhere. I didn't see it anywhere.
It's not posted at the elevators of those high rises.
No, it most certainly is not. I also haven't seen anywhere in any of our documentation that says you even have a right to an education. If you just want to get right down to it. There's nowhere in any of our documents that says you even have a right to an education. So to say you got a right to a cell phone, you've got the right to cable television, you got a right to have the internet, you got a right to live in an affluent neighborhood.
Hey, wait, you got to back up. You have the right to broadband internet.
Right. Yeah, exactly. High-speed internet. Now, there's a whole bunch of people still on dial-up because that's all they can afford, but they make too much money and they can't get none of that free broadband. How about that?
That's because they have a job.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I heard Rush Limbaugh say something the other day that was, or not Rush Limbaugh, excuse me, Rick Santorum say something the other day that, man, it took me a minute. It took me by surprise and made me think about it. But I think he was right. All this talk about the middle class that the Democrats love to tout, that's some pretty communist language.
Uh-huh.
The middle class. The workers, right? The Workers' Party.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. And like with Hillary, takes a village. All of this language that they use, it really is communist language. It really is socialist language. But when you speak out about it, when you call attention to it or shine a light on it and go, look,
you're crazy. You're one of those wing nuts.
This is some Stalinist stuff here, man.
Even
look, Lenin and Hitler, all of the big boys, Pol Pot, all of them would be looking at Obama right now going, dang, you go, boy. You got all that and you didn't even have to shed no blood. You could just do whatever you want, and they still call you a democratically elected president, even though you won with 108% in some places. What's that guy in Mohammed Karzai?
From Afghanistan?
Yeah, how he had one of them kind of elections like Barack did, where he won with like 108%, and they arrested him and said, hey, you cheated. You think they ever going to arrest Obama and say you cheated?
No, I don't think we'll ever see that, my brother.
What if, let's just say for poops and giggles here, that in 2017, Obama's real birth records come out, and that mug was born in Kenya. Do you think anything will be done?
No.
Do you think anybody would believe it?
No.
I don't either. So then why CNN?
Because I wouldn't believe it either at that point, because it's just like, and I wouldn't even.
Whoop! You wouldn't even still be talking because your microphone would have just went out. I don't know what happened to him. His microphone just went bloop. But at any rate, if that's the case, then why is it that CNN would be trying to get onto the birther bandwagon themselves in some kind of crazy way? I mean, it's downright ridiculous that excuse me, Casey's having a little technical issue. Apparently his battery died. So I think he's going to go try to get him another one put in there momentarily. But anyway, CNN is now jumping on the new birther bandwagon with Ted Cruz. They figure if the Republicans can do it, they can do it too, and they'll just do it better. And they might as well go ahead and jump on that now. They don't want to have none of these fiascos like with Obama already getting into the office, and then and only then does somebody ask the question, hey, was he even a citizen? Because that's more or less what happened with Barry. It was like, you know, I know he's been in office 6 months, but do we even have his birth certificate? Do anybody even see that? But CNN's starting to ask that same question. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that little clip there. It's pretty interesting.
In the Senate by storm, stirring up controversy and ruffling feathers on both sides of the aisle in his first month on the job. For that, Ted Cruz is a Tea Party favorite, already generating lots of buzz about the 2016 race for the White House. However, the question isn't only will he run, but can he run under the U.S. Constitution? CNN's Athena Jones is joining us now. She's been looking into this. Athena, so what's going on with Senator Ted Cruz and his eligibility potential to become one day president of the United States?
Hi, Wolf. Well, the big question here is whether Ted Cruz is a natural-born citizen. I spoke with several constitutional law experts about this today, and all of them believe that Cruz is. But it's important to note the Constitution doesn't define who is a natural-born citizen, and those are the only people eligible to run for president. Also, I should add, the Supreme Court has never ruled on this issue. Senator Ted Cruz, a Tea Party darling who's made a name for himself stirring the political pot. The Texas Republican challenged Pentagon Chief Chuck Hagel at his confirmation hearing.
You explicitly agreed with the characterization of the United States as the world's bully.
And says the IRS should be abolished, defying his own party leadership, threatening to shut down the government over Obamacare. Here he is making the case in Iowa, a crucial 2016 battleground state.
This thing ain't working, but yet I can't count the number of Republicans in Washington who said, well, we can't defund it.
He's a potential presidential contender, but he wasn't born in the U.S. So is he even eligible to run? He says he is. Cruz was born in Canada to a Cuban father and an American mother.
My mother was born in Wilmington, Delaware. She is a U.S. citizen, so I'm a U.S. citizen by birth.
The Constitution says only a natural-born citizen can be president. But what does natural-born mean?
As long as he qualifies as a citizen of the United States at birth, which he does by law, then that makes him a natural-born citizen.
This citizenship question isn't new. Former GOP candidate John McCain was born to American parents in the Panama Canal Zone, raising questions. To try to put the matter to rest, the Senate passed a non-binding resolution in 2008 recognizing McCain as a natural-born citizen. But even that resolution noted that the Constitution doesn't define the term.
This is an example of an interpretation of the Constitution that was really fleshed out by Congress itself.
Law professor Randy Barnett is talking about statute. But a 50-page report by the Congressional Research Service provides another clue about how Congress views the issue. That report says natural-born applies to those born abroad to U.S. citizen parents. It doesn't address those born abroad to one U.S. parent, but the argument goes if Cruz can claim citizenship through his mother at birth, and the scholars we spoke with say he can, then he can claim to be natural-born. But that doesn't mean it's the end of the story. In the case of President Obama, even providing a copy of his Hawaiian birth certificate hasn't quieted so-called birthers like Donald Trump.
Well, I don't know. Was it a birth certificate? You tell me. You know, some people say that was not his birth certificate. I'm saying I don't know. Nobody knows.
So would a Cruz candidacy ignite a birther movement of its own? It's anybody's guess. Now, Trump didn't seem quite as eager to dive in on Cruz's eligibility in that interview. For his part, Cruz told ABC recently that he's not going to get involved in any legal debate. He said simply, "I'm not going to engage." Wolf?
Thina, thanks very much.
Yeah, Thina, thanks very much. That was comprehensive.
Enlightening.
Yeah, that was comprehensive there. Well, I'm glad you're back.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, for how long anyway? All right. If this whole birth certificate / citizenship requirement is as ludicrous as the Democrats would have had us believe in 2008 and 2012, why then would CNN jump on that same tactic with somebody like Ted Cruz, who, there really is no doubt?
Ooh, I know.
Why?
I know. Because they're hypocrites.
No.
Well, this is CNN we're talking about. They got Piers Morgan. He's one of their flagship shows. Piers Morgan.
That is, that's bad. When Piers Morgan is like your top dog, your prime time, he's like supposed to be, like their Brit Hume or their Bill O'Reilly, And
that's what he would have you believe.
Or their Ted Koppel. Or actually he's supposed to be their Larry King. And he ain't a pimple on Larry King's booty. I mean, really. And this just goes to show just how desperate CNN is to try to find something, on the conservatives. They've got to sow some kind of seeds of doubt early, because even they can see the writing on the wall with Ted Cruz.
But Marty, CNN is completely fair.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, they're kind of impartial. I mean, they say they are.
Candy Crowley.
I mean, they're neutral.
You did watch the debates this last time, didn't you?
Well, I'm just saying, this is what they say.
No.
They're not biased.
And look, I think the chat room had it right a while ago with CNN, the Communist News Network.
Yeah.
And that is just look. Ted Cruz scares the hell out of the Democrats. He scares the hell out of Republicans. Because here's the thing. Ted Cruz is not a popular man in Congress. I mean, and the left gets that one right. He is most unpopular. In the Senate, excuse me. He is most unpopular there. A lot of the Republicans, it's true, they can't stand him. But you know who does like him?
Mike Lee.
Well, the American people.
Well, yeah. And
the rest of the country
kind of like him.
Texas loves him. Alabama loves him, or at least I can speak for this part of Alabama. We love Ted Cruz. Man, he just went to Iowa, last week. Iowa loved him. They didn't
treat him like a rock star.
They didn't put him in the straw poll yet, but I'm telling you right now, he was the one that everybody clapped for. He was the one that got the most standing ovations. Man, you couldn't even hardly him and his dad both. It was all they could do to talk because the audience kept erupting into applause.
Well, you can tell his daddy's a preacher too.
Well, you know why they're so popular? You know why Ted Cruz scares the hell out of the progressives?
Yeah, because he's actually standing on a principle. People see that, they like it, and it makes other Republicans think they're going to have to do the same thing.
That's right.
I hate that.
That's right. Ted Cruz has actually, that old cliche about having your finger on the pulse of America. Well, Ted Cruz has actually had his ear down to listen to the heartbeat, to hear what genuine public opinion really is.
Well, see, we do have the virtue of being able to see Ted's father in action.
Yep.
So we can see exactly how Ted was raised.
That's true. That's true.
And
there is no doubt that he does love his country. I don't know what kind of president he would be. I have no idea.